President Trump and Joe Biden continue to battle over several swing states as the votes are still being tallied. One America's John Hines spoke to Boris Epshteyn, a strategic advisor for Trump 2020 in Arizona, to get his take.
Mr. Epshteyn, you're a strategic advisor for Trump 2020, and as I recall, you are in one of these swing states even as we speak. What seems to be the situation on the ground there where you are now?
Well, I'm in Arizona, and in Arizona, we're feeling absolutely great, as are we across the country, specifically in Arizona. Every time there's information released about more ballots being counted, it's moving toward President Trump and away from Joe Biden. It is well beyond time for Fox News and AP to retract their call, the ludicrous call of Arizona for Joe Biden. President Trump is well on track to win Arizona because he's picking up about 56, 57% of all the new ballots that are being counted, they're being released. Part of the reason for that is because these ballots counted now are either day of or day off drop-off, which trend heavily toward President Trump.
So these are the so-called, I think, late, early voting ballots. Is that what the term is?
Yeah, you could call it that, but really the way to simply think about it is there's mail balloting, there's day off balloting, and then there's day off drop-off balloting. So people who don't want to wait in line to actually vote, but they have the mail ballot and they drop it off. Arizona's got that option, and that's what's being counted now. And it's trending very heavily toward President Trump, not just in Maricopa County, where Phoenix and Scottsdale are, but also in counties like Pima, which traditionally have been liberal-leaning, but the latest release of results gave President Trump over 50% of that batch. So very positive for the president here in the beautiful state of Arizona.
Do we know about how many more ballots need to be counted there in Arizona when you total them all up?
About 300,000, and right now President Trump is down by about 47,000. Now, if you do the math, out of about 70,000, President Trump is gaining 10. So do the math there. That ends up with President Trump winning Arizona.
And this is probably why the campaign, you projected Arizona early on and thought it would go Mr. Trump's way. Is that more or less the rationale?
We've been confident in Arizona going toward President Trump. You've seen companies like Orbital Digital, prognosticate and say that Arizona is going to move toward President Trump. We're confident in that result.
May I ask you about some of these other states? Do we know anything about what's going on in Georgia? Because I think that just recently Mr. Biden appears to have pulled ahead in the vote count there.
Well, Georgia is very, very close, and the campaign obviously is looking closely at all issues, irregularities going on in the state of Georgia. But also keep in mind the military ballot is yet to come in, and that's going to trend so heavily toward President Trump. I believe about 8,000 to 10,000 votes. We're very confident that President Trump will end up winning the state of Georgia, as well as the state of Pennsylvania. And we've seen so many issues around Pennsylvania, specifically in Philadelphia. As President Trump mentioned last night, Philadelphia, long a Democrat stronghold with a lot of voting irregularity history. This campaign is going to make sure that this election is full of integrity, and we're confident once every legal ballot is counted, President Trump will be reelected to a second term.
And in Pennsylvania, the part of the arithmetic is there that you've got a lot of these votes, I guess, coming in from Philadelphia County and some other places. Do we have anything like military ballots? Do we know anything about things like that might be coming in late as well?
There's still be some military, some provisional balloting, et cetera. But even in Philadelphia, I mean, it's impossible to think. There was one data dump that said over 27,000, literally everyone for Joe Biden. That is humanly impossible. That is not something that can happen in America, right? If you gather a family of 10, there's no way that all 10 are going to be for one candidate or the other. And you better believe it were 27,000 all for President Trump. The rest of the networks, CNN, MSNBC, and even some people on Fox, it seems, will be screaming about that. So we have to investigate what is going on, get to the bottom of it, and make sure this election is decided fairly and squarely. And we're confident that when that happens, it will be for President Trump for a second term.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.